Welcome to another episode of the Heart and Mind of Business. Today, Debbie is going to ask you a question. Is fear of bad reviews holding you back? You don't want to miss this one. So today we are talking about the fear. There's a big word, the fear of bad reviews. And is it holding you back? Talk with us about fear, my friend.
When you're starting a business, you want everybody to like what you're doing. You want those likes, you want those shares, you want people buying things, you want them leaving good reviews. But what happens when somebody doesn't like what you're doing? How does it make you feel?
Well, anxious and unvalidated and fear. I guess you can feel some fear about it.
So let's take that to the next level. So I had a conversation with somebody recently who she said she didn't want to do business with them anymore because of the working relationship wasn't working. And they threatened then to leave a bunch of really bad reviews. So what would you do in that situation other than keep yourself up at night? Is it going to ruin your business? That's the fear that we can really get when we're talking at a big level, when something goes wrong.
Well, and you feel defensive all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? When it feels like an attack against you and your business and this baby that you've built, your business.
Yeah. Because when you're a new entrepreneur, really, the business is you. You and your identity are entwined with the business, really, aren't you? Especially if you're doing something like coaching. When I'm in, I am my brand. And if somebody says, there is a really bad or not a nice something that's going on, then there is an easy tendency to take it personally. That it's not my work, that it is actually they're being horrible to me. So what do we do?
That's a great question. What should we do? Debbie, tell us what to do. I think we're scared. Help.
I think the thing is, if somebody threatens you, and this can be really go against what our natural tendency is, to feel compassion for them. Because if they are threatening, they're coming from a really scared, fearful place themselves. And if that threat is going outward from them, it's also a threat probably that there is inward direction as well. I'm not good enough. I have to be controlling in order to feel happy. There is something within them that isn't happy. If you didn't feel that threat, if you didn't feel like you had to try to control or to be angry, if you didn't have that within you, you haven't got it to give anybody else. So it's got to be a state that they're projecting outwards. So our first thing can be to find a way somehow to feel compassion for where they are, because they're not in a good place.
And that's not easy when you feel like someone's attacking you, right? Exactly. They're attacking your integrity or your process or your product or your service, right? That's an attack. They're going to give you bad reviews. That's pretty ugly.
Yeah. But at that point, it's just an attack. It's not happened. It's a threat. So this is where we're looking at it differently. This is at the moment, it's not happened. It's just a threat. And really, we can only take action and then go to Google and go to Facebook and anywhere else once it happens to see if we can get it removed because it's not valid and not real. If it's just a normal, not somebody not liking it, then, that's their honest opinion. But when we've got a threat going on and somebody that is, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to threaten you with lots of bad reviews and spread it around. Actually, that has a malicious intent to it.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's different. So the real key thing to do is to check in with your thinking at that point. If you feel afraid, your fear ripples out. And then that spreads out into other people's, people that will work with you, people that you come into contact. Even the work that you will do will be tainted with your own fear of that threat. So try, and I know this isn't always easy, but to work on the place of actually coming back to, as I said, feel compassion for them, but to check in with your own thinking. Okay, is what they're threatening really true? And look at what your work, look at your own work ethic. Think about, actually, no, I work with integrity. I always do things for the right reason. The reason I'm not wanting to work with them is because of this. Actually, I know I always do the best I can for my clients. I know that I always put myself out to make sure that client has a really good experience of working with me. These are all lots of the things that we can be saying, because
Self-talk.
self-talk, because what we don't want to do is end up scaring ourselves so that we then run down the rat hole of fear and adds to the threat that's coming in from this other person. Yeah,
so we're compounding it and making it worse.
Exactly. And our own scaring ourselves will impact and have an impact on what we're doing and who we talk to.
And how you respond to them, for sure.
Exactly. Right. And I think the key is to try not to take it personally. What somebody's saying is their own fear spilling out, but trust that not only will you attract the right people to work with you, but also that people are quite discerning, that they can recognize somebody who is being malicious,
right,
and not giving an honest review. And trust that they will see through something should they then start spilling and writing. And at that point, that's when you can take action. Maybe depending on the type of organization, maybe you have insurance that can deal with it. Maybe you can report it to Facebook and, on the basis of other threatening stuff you might have. Maybe you've had an email threatening to blame you with stuff which isn't true. And, these organizations will look into it and take bad things like that down. So there are different ways to be able to deal with it. But the hardest one of all is to send love out.
Yep. When you're feeling attacked, for sure.
When you're feeling attacked, try not to take it personally. Be really gentle with yourself and send love out, and just focus on who you want to attract and who you want to work with. Not focusing on the bad thing that's going on, but focusing on attracting more of what you do want. I want peace and harmony. I want really great customers who really appreciate that I am the right person to work with them and they're the right client for me. So just put all your attention, all your words and all your effort into what you do want rather than what you don't want.
What you don't want. I agree.
And step by step.
It's interesting to think about, but people who are that way with you may well be that way with others.
Exactly.
And I have in the past, if I've seen somebody talking negatively about somebody else, or I thought, gosh, that doesn't sound right, actually look at the person. And if they are doing that to a bunch of different people, then I just disregard them. I disregard their review and their opinion, because clearly that's the kind of person that they are.
Exactly. Okay. We can only give out what we've got inside. So if we've got a lot of anger inside, we're likely to have a lot of anger in our words and our comments and whatever goes forward. And that's why it's good to feel compassion for them, because they don't know how to deal with how they're feeling. So they're doing it the only way they know how, which is through threatening behavior.
Fear mongering.
Yeah. But I understand it's not nice to be at the end of that. So be gentle with yourself.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that. And of course, we have lots of other videos covering other hot topics. So check out our other videos. And then, of course, if you don't have a copy of our book, 8 Ways to Mind Your Own Business, you can grab a copy off of Amazon. It's a great resource for new entrepreneur. And whilst you're here, please hop down below. Tell us about an incident that maybe you experienced and how you handled it, how you dealt with it. We'd love to hear your stories as well. So don't forget to like and share the love with other people who are new entrepreneurs who might find value here as well. Thank you for your time once again.
See you again soon.
See you next week.